Hi guys, in this video we're going to look at accommodation in the lens that allows the eye to focus at different distances. We're going to talk about focusing light in general, then look at the two structures in the eye that focus light, the cornea and the lens, and then we're going to talk about accommodation of that lens. So firstly, when we focus light, light comes from whatever the light source is, hits the object that we're looking at, reflects off that object. So those light rays then enter our eyes first through the conjunctiva, then the cornea, then into the aqueous humor, the lens, then the vitreous humor, and are focused onto the retina at the back of the eyeball. So the first thing that does this refraction or the focusing is the cornea. So as the light enters the eye, it starts refracting, being focused, and actually most of the refraction occurs here at the cornea. However, because the cornea of your eye doesn't actually change shape, it's a fixed amount of refraction. So it can only focus it so far. And depending on whether you're looking at things close to you or far away, that needs to actually change. This changing is done by the lens, so it has its ability to change its curvature. Now it is always biconvex, being that it is bulged on both sides, but it changes its curvature from a fairly flat, thin biconvex lens to a fat, wide biconvex lens, and therefore changes its refractive power as it changes. The way that it does this is in the ciliary body there is a ciliary muscle, and that muscle can contract and relax, and the lens is attached to the ciliary body through the zonules or suspensory ligaments. So when the lens is at rest, it looks like this. You've got the ciliary muscle up there, we've got the zonules attaching to the lens. Now when that ciliary muscle contracts, it bulges and causes the zonules to relax. Those zonules relax, allowing the lens to be under less tension, allowing it to become more curved. And we call this maximum accommodation, and this is the highest refractive power or amount of focusing that the eye can be under. And this process is called accommodation. So you can see, as we said, at rest, so if a distance is far away, the lens needs to be fairly flat, okay, so still convex, but not very convex. So the light rays come in from that object and are focused on the back of the eye. For an object that is closer together, so these rays actually look parallel, but they're not. But the focal point of them is so far out that they look parallel, okay, being a far away object. Here we've got a close object, so that you need to focus on it much closer to the eye. And so this needs to have a much higher refraction power, so it goes into maximum accommodation. The ciliary muscle tightens, the zonules relax, allowing the lens to relax and become into this accommodated fat shape. This increases the refraction that occurs and brings the focal point much closer so that it can sit or focus on the retina. In this video we've talked about focusing light in general and the structures that go into focusing light. One of these structures being the cornea, which has a high amount of focus that it does, or a high refractive power. However, it is fixed, so it cannot change for close or far away objects. We've talked about the lens and how the lens changes its shape, always to be a biconvex lens, but can change its curvature, so changes how far the focal length is or how much focusing it does. And then we've talked about accommodation being from rest, looking at something far away, to maximum accommodation, something right in front of your face, that your ciliary muscle has to contract, allowing the zonules to relax, and that lens pops into that fat maximum accommodation mode. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.